Alright, what's good, Spirit Squad? How y'all doing today? First and foremost, let's just get this out of the way. Please don't wish me a happy Martin Luther King Day. That's just weird. Don't do that. Now that that's out of the way, today we're going to be playing some Explorer on the rank ladder of MTG Arena. And if you look to your right, we see this lovely little wheel. This wheel's going to have a whole bunch of different deck options that we're going to be able to run through. And before each match, we're going to spin the wheel to figure out exactly what we'll be playing. So the options here are going to be Mono Red Aggro. We've got Boros Heroic, Greasefang, I think I built Abzan, Fires of Invention with Karuga, Is It Phoenix? There's no Delve spells, but Phoenix is still pretty playable otherwise. Rakdos Sacrifice, Rakdos Midrange. Actually, this is Jund Sacrifice. I put Corvold in. We've got Blue-White Control, and of course, Mono Blue Spirits. So that's going to be what we're doing for the next few hours. We'll be spinning the wheel before each round, figuring out exactly what's going to be jammed in each round. And then maybe we'll throw a draft in there too, since I have one of the cool draft tokens. So let's just get right into it. Before we start playing, everybody, how you doing today? What are you doing with your day off if you are American? And if you're not American, where are you from? We get Greasefang. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get ready to play some Greasefang on the ladder. So this Greasefang list honestly isn't really that exciting. It's just a normal Abzan Greasefang deck. But I'm pretty hyped to just play a bunch of different decks, and I like the idea of not really knowing what I'm going to be jamming in between each round, right? Like, it's just kind of a fun bit of variety to add to an otherwise stale ladder. So let's see what the Magic Boris is bringing, and we're going to be on the draw, so we'll find out exactly what they're going to be doing before we actually get to make decisions or do anything. So what do we got here? Woo, well, we got a fresh one-lander, so this is going right back, and they showed us Karuga, so they are on the Fires deck, which really means that this hand would almost be like a multi 6 anyway, right? Because Fatal Push is useless in this matchup. But this is a lot better, like not close, much better. So I can Thought Seize, but I don't know that I really want to Thought Seize on one, because I do want, no, I want to Thought Seize on one, Grizzly Salvage on 2, Greasefang on 3, and ideally find something nice. So on the draw, that's actually especially helpful because they can start developing 3 drops before. Again, with the Fatal Pushes not being very good in this matchup. So what are we working with? Leyline Binding and Double Fable. I don't care about Fable in this matchup, so I'm just going to take the Leyline Binding and stop them from getting rid of my Greasefang. There's a land, there's a Sky Sovereign, so we'll just Darkboar Pathway. And this deck doesn't play Counterspell, so I'm just going to hold up Grizzly Salvage now, and then do it at the end of their turn after they resolve one of these Fables. Sacred Foundry, there's a Fable, let's Grizzly Salvage, and I will grab the land. There's no vehicle, which is sad times. But even this isn't the end of the world. So let's untap here. Unfortunately, we do not find a vehicle here either. So I'll just go ahead and resolve the Greasefang, and I can work on like Ezekiel's Chariot plus Sky Sovereign after that. And then if at any point I find a way to find a Parhelion and put it in the graveyard, this starts to look even better. But for now, this is certainly fine. I don't know about great, but it's fine. So let's see if they find another copy of Leyline Binding or something else to get rid of Greasefang now. They don't, so it's just another Fable. If they attack, I will happily block. They don't, okay. Rafine's Informant, that's actually pretty good. So I can Sky Sovereign and get rid of both of these tokens. Dang it. I was kind of hoping to also just like maybe see a copy of what am I thinking? Like Parhelion as the draw, right? And there's no other creatures in here that I really want to get or do anything with Can't Stay Away, so I'll just play you as a land and then move to combat. So Sky Sovereign comes in, I tag one of these, I crew with Rafine's Informant, and now I get to attack and tag the other as well. So they take a fresh 10, and then if I draw a land next turn, I just get to go ahead and cast the Sky Sovereign. So yeah, that's pretty reasonable. What up, Brick? How you doing today? So yeah, we're having a pretty decent time in our game one of our very first match here. We're playing as Greasefang against Karuga Fires. And now it's basically their job to do something about what we're doing, and they can't. Sick. So against Karuga Fires, I definitely do not want Fatal Pushes for any reason. I do want more discard. The rest is pretty good. Terra Sunder is really good. Their whole deck is enchantments. Do I want Graveyard Trespasser over anything else in this deck? I think the answer might actually be no. I think I want Nissa in one of these more than Witherbloom Command. So yeah, because Witherbloom Command only destroys things with mana value 2 or less, but since they're a Karuga deck, they don't play anything mana value 2 or less. So this card actually doesn't do anything. The creature mode doesn't matter, the mill is fine, and the drain is irrelevant. Can you explain Explorer? I get lost in... Oh, sure. So Pioneer is a paper format, and it goes back from Return to Ravnica until now. Everything that's been printed in those time periods is legal. Pioneer is not actually on Arena, so Explorer is kind of like the next best thing that's available. This is actually keepable. Yeah, I'm in for this. So all of the cards that are legal in Pioneer and exist on Arena are what make up Explorer. Historic is, as far as I know, everything that is legal, or rather available in this format or this platform on Arena, and that includes all of the really crazy Arena specific cards, like all of the I guess made up alchemy cards. It includes all of the cards that have been printed into Arena from like Magic's history with a specific ban list. For example, you can play cards like Faithless Looting on Historic because it exists on Arena, but it's not like legal anywhere else. So there's a pretty vast difference between like Historic and everything else. Historic is not really like any other format Magic has to offer, but Explorer is basically like baby Pioneer. So we've got Spar's Headquarters in a swamp, so they've got 3 colors established, and now that's, or 4 colors, now they have 5 since there is now red. So I think my job here is still just to jam the Greasefang and make them solve it. So that's what I'm going to do here. If they can't solve it, I get an Asika's Chariot. If they can solve it, that's fine. Hey, what's good? They do have the Leyline Binding, that's fine. Is this ranked? Yes, it is. So yeah, so we're doing a ranked ladder, like a deck roulette. I've got what, 8, 9, 10 decks, however many set aside here that we can go ahead and play. Oh, that's completely fine. Give me a green source. Give me a green source. Dang. Still, actually, let's Rafine's Informant first to see if I can find a green source. If so, then I'll be happy to tear asunder the Leyline Binding. Hell yeah. Never didn't have it, y'all. Never didn't have it. Okay, so now I'm gonna crew you using the Greasefang. And we have a board established again. Alright, opponent, get fucked. So Historic has the weird cards that only work on a computer game, and Explorer's Pioneer with all the cards already on Arena. That's exactly right, yes. Yeah, no further explanation, you're just correct. But yeah, so Goya, man, we're doing just like a kind of like roulette of all of the different things that exist, that I have access to anyway. There are a couple of the meta decks that I just never bothered building because, well, quite frankly, I don't fucking like them. Um, so there's, for example, like a mono green ramp deck that is pretty good, and I'm just like not willing to build it because I don't like the deck. But with exception for that, we're basically playing everything that exists on this platform, or rather we're giving ourselves the option to play everything that exists on this platform. So I got a couple of options here actually. I can Liliana tick down, and I think that's actually correct to do first. Liliana tick down gives them a choice between giving me my Rafine's Informant back or sacrificing their Omnath, because there's no way they're sacrificing this in the face of a possible Seeker's Chariot. Depending on what they sacrifice, I have the option then of thought seizing them and getting rid of Karuga, or thought seizing myself and putting Seeker's Chariot in the graveyard. Yeah, let's see what they do with Liliana's sacrifice first. Panda, what up? How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Is blue-green flash any good? I loved it when it was an Eldraine standard. Unfortunately, the answer is no, which really sucks because I super love that deck. And it was definitely one of my go-to standard decks for a pretty long time. I think I'm just going to get rid of the Karuga here. Like, I don't want them to have a guaranteed draw 3 in hand. Kenrith and Karuga, that's a pretty good couple of cards. So do I want to just attack with all of these, have them block here, take 4, go to 9? Or do I trust in the deck to give me the ability to... No, that's definitely... Yeah. They do have a land, so they're going to go back up to 13. Actually, yes. So doing this does a couple of things. If they block Rafine's Informant, that opens me up to a can't stay away draw for Rafine's Informant, since I have no... Oh, so since I only have those in the graveyard. That's actually acceptable. And playing the land opens me up to a draw of exactly Parhelion, since a Parhelion does 13 damage. Kenrith changes that since they can gain 5 life, but I still want to give myself the ability to deal them lethal. I like that. Oh, yeah. I just didn't know whether you wanted me to say your real name on stream or anything like that. That's all. No, I remember who you are, Jose. And it's been so long, want to stop in and say hi. For sure. Like, you know, obviously all the love's appreciated. Oh, good night to my Greasefang. But now that doesn't have haste, so I'm just going to let Lily die here. Rafine's Informant is medium? Yeah, it's kind of medium. Let's see what happens with that. A Grizzly Salvage. So you're saying there's a chance. There's a Sky Sovereign and a Beseju. So Beseju is a little late. It could have gotten rid of the fires, but I think... Is there any out? Nah, let's just go to game 3. I'm kind of fighting for no reason here. But no, blue-green flash, the closest thing that we have available to blue-green flash in Explorer is really like mono blue spirits, which is not the same function at all, right? Like, we're not playing like 4 drops, like there's no Mystic Snake or Frilled Mystic, there's no 5 drops like Nissa. It's basically all a spirit tribal deck that plays a very heavy flash and counterspell sub-theme, if you will. And we can take a look at that, because that actually is the deck that I'm known for playing. Oh, that's decent. Yeah, this is fine. So we can check that list out too, because that is like the thing that I do, if you will. I think I want to get rid of Thoughtseize with this hand. Yeah. I think I like getting rid of Thoughtseize more than I want to Terra Sunder. No, that's probably false. Let's get rid of Terra Sunder. And this presents me with like a half-decent curve. That's unfortunate that we just did that, but I can still win with a basic beatdown plan. Like, this actually isn't the end of the world. Grizzly Salvage is kind of bad in the face of that, so I'll be medium happy to get rid of that if that's what comes up. But if I draw a Parhelion... Okay, I was gonna say, if I draw a Parhelion, those are pretty easy discards. But here, I don't mind just, like, doing the whole attack for 3 thing. Hey... Thanks for joining. But yeah, the flash deck was really sick. And I kind of wish that I was thinking about making content back when like that was one of the main decks in Magic, because well, I clearly really liked it. So I can Skyclave or Leyline Binding here. Which do I care about? I think I care more about the binding. So let's get an attack for 3 in, and then I'm gonna play you as black because I didn't side in the Nissa or anything, so I don't think I'll have a turn where I need multiple green sources. Did you know Smite is having an MTG collab? No, I had absolutely no idea. Like, I generally don't end up learning things about any of the collabs that they have with... Damn it, I wanted to discard you earlier. I generally don't end up learning anything about collabs with other IPs just because, like, if I'm being quite frank, like, since I don't play too many other games, I typically just never learn about these type of things. This actually isn't bad as far as plans go, right? Like, they can sack this, untap, Skyclave the Asika's Chariot, but they still have to deal with the tokens, and then I have a backup Greasefang as a 4/3. I can discard this to almost any outlet since I never plan on casting this anyway. So honestly, even with the Leyline, this is still completely fine. I of course do wish that with the Leyline having come out, I wish that I had kept the Tear Asunder rather than the whatever the 2-mana card is called, the Disenchant, but this is still pretty reasonable. A Graveyard Trespasser, that's fine for getting creatures out of their yard, so let's attack first, see if they block. If they do, I can Graveyard Trespasser and eat the Skyclave. If not, I can play the Greasefang. And here's a beatdown. Oh, that's a lot of notifications for that. Temporary lockdown gets rid of my tokens, so that's a little obnoxious. I guess the upside is that I don't really care too much about this going away though, since it's not like I can bring the tokens back. So let's attack and see if they have some removal here, or if I'm eventually gonna force them to just be sad about their life total soonish. Let's get rid of the Leyline Binding, play you as green, and see what it is they come up with. Omnath is super annoying. I guess the okay part about them having Omnath here is that at least this is a 4/4 that can trade for this. But I'm going to give myself the chance first to draw into a copy of Liliana. So... let's go. All right, sick. So now I want to attack with just Greasefang, see if they trade Omnath for it, and if so, then I'll Liliana downtick. So that that was nutty. Yo, for sure. Like, oh no, that's annoying. Iganjo's really good. I'm still gonna do this though. So downtick here, I get a 4/4 token that can block Omnath just fine. So now they're still looking at like a super unfriendly scenario. They can use Otawara to block this, but they'd rather get the 4 life, okay? And if they just like buy Karuga and I draw something that discards, at least they can't like give this haste. Grizzly Salvage, what does that do for me? Grizzly Salvage can find another Liliana, a Tear Asunder to get rid of the Leyline, maybe? Yeah, alright, let's see what this finds. Rafine's Informant. Sure? So the Rafine's Informant can mill, basically. I can tick up here. There's no attack to be had, so let's just pass. Nothing wrong with Leyline. Oh yeah, no. The Leyline is like, this is pretty obnoxious, but like, as you see, we have like a somewhat real beatdown plan established, so it's not that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad. If they just like spend their turn buying Karuga and don't have another action spell, then this isn't that bad. They can't really attack Liliana too profitably. They're going to. Okay, that's... no way, that's wrong. Or no way, that's right. Alright, well, I'm just gonna do this then. I don't think there's a punish. Like, +X+0 in haste, they don't get trample, so they have to have like a real removal spell, and they don't. Sick. That's fine. They didn't cast a spell, so now I get to just like do the draining game thing. So goodbye. So they take 6, go to 9, and I am sad about giving them the ability to cast a Karuga and draw 3, but without a Thoughtseize I wasn't doing anything about that anyway, and I can still attack through this, especially if I draw anything relevant. So like, this is not good, but it's also not just the end of the world. Like, the ley line did fuck me up here, but it is what it is. Anointed Peacekeeper? What's that in this deck? That's not even good. I mean, alright. So, more Liliana related action here. Let's make them sacrifice this. And I'm still looking for multiple pieces now to be able to do anything, right? Like, I only have 6 mana, so I can't even, like, cast a Parhelia by its... Jesus. Alright, well, I'm not beating another Omnath. I'm pretty sure I'm just no longer for this world. So let's go ahead and pack it up here and move to the next round. So, I think keeping the Thoughtseize rather than the Terra Sunder was definitely a gamble, but I think given the chance to play that match again, I think I still keep the Thoughtseize another time. So I just would have gotten twice, and it is what it is. Let's find out what we're playing next round. And I did remember the point about mono blue, so we can still check that out before actually playing. Blue-white control. Okay, so before going into blue-white control, let's actually show you the mono blue list here. And as you see, I called it the good stuff because that's what I believe about it. So this is a mono blue spirits flash threat deck that plays a lot like the standard deck that existed right before the flash period that you're talking about, where you have flyers with Curious Obsession, except you don't have to play stuff like Siren Storm Tamer. You get to just play a Spirit sub-theme where the entire deck essentially protects itself. So you have like Mausoleum Wanderer and Spectral Sailor as your 1-drops of choice, and a new one does exist. Ascendant Spirit does exist. It's basically Figure of Destiny for blue. So this card is relatively good. I don't think it is contextually good within Explorer right now, so I took it out of the deck, but it is still an option that most people choose to play. Anyway, you get to protect your threats with things like Spell Pierces, Slip Out the Back, which phases your cards. Is it the same as the Pioneer version? The exact same. So if you already know about that deck, then I can go ahead and kind of stop talking about it. But the deck is literally a 1-for-1 copy of everything that exists in the Pioneer version. Like, you don't have to sacrifice anything to play this deck in full. Blue-white control. So is there anything special or noted here that's different from anything else? So I've got 2 Supreme Verdicts, 2 Doom Scars, Memory Deluge. I am playing all 4 Shark Typhoons in this list. Censor, Make It Disappear, Dovin's Veto. I've got 4 Absorbs, 2 Temporary Lockdowns, no Portable Holes. Okay, my creature lands are Hall of Storm Giants, and I've got 2 Field of Ruins with how many basics? 3 and 3. The sideboard has 2 more Dovin's Vetoes. Bane Slayer, is there a Lyra to go with her? No, because I've got 2 Dream Trawlers and a Hullbreaker. Okay. Never hurts to talk more about Spirits, for sure. Like, I absolutely love this deck, and I've been playing Spirits decks as a whole for like shit about 4.5, almost 5 years now, and I just don't really see myself stopping, because like the deck is so good in Pioneer / Explorer that almost any tournament that I play, I legitimately see myself as likely to win. Like, the deck has been performing that well. This is a gamble. Y'all trying to gamble, or should I actually be smart about this? Fuck it, content, let's gamble. I'm likening Reckoner Bankbuster more and more for the deck. Yo, I love Reckoner Bankbuster. Like, it's so good against control, and it's even better against Rakdos. It's so much good value. I made blue-white spirits for modern just because I liked how blue-green flash played in standard. Opponent said good game. I'll say good game back. Let's see if they... yes, it's the mirror. Let's go. All right, do they have a one drop? No. Okay. Let's play the Supreme Phantom. Yo. So now if they combat me back with like either a Supreme Phantom or a Spectral Sailor here, I get to just like block the Spectral Sailor unless they have double Curious, and then untap and double Curious myself. Yo, this is so hilarious. Let's oh Jesus Christ, I just realized, oh my god, I spun blue-white control and started talking with y'all about spirits, and then I just queued up spirits without even blinking or thinking. That is so funny. I just didn't even I'm not even supposed to be playing this deck right now. Whatever, I'll go back to blue-white control next round. There's a Geist Light Snare, you got it. But what you gonna do about the second one? All right, oh, we actually chucking the Spectral Sailor? I'm cool with that. I didn't want to say anything because spirits. No, I just didn't even realize. Like, we started talking about spirits and I was like, hell yeah, I'm excited. Let's go ahead and play. And then I immediately queued up spirits. All right, so okay, speaking of which, there's the Ascendant Spirit. Like I said, people are playing this fairly regularly. That is so funny. So let's go ahead and play our Faceless Haven and get ready to try and draw a card. If they decide to Brazen Borrower this, I've got the Rattle Chains on deck, so that's just not gonna work. So let's see if that is in fact what ends up happening here. All right, looks like nothing's happening, so I'm just gonna get to draw and be excited about it. So do I want a Counterspell or a Shacklegeist more? Ooh, another Rattle Chains. All right. Faceless Haven looks like a white card. This is totally blue-white control. There we go. I accept this. That is so funny. Okay, so they have their own Rattle Chains. I'm not going to use that as an opportunity to resolve mine. I'm just going to be all right with that. And honestly, them playing Rattle Chains rather than pumping this is kind of mid as far as decisions go. So if they decided to pump this and then they had like another land plus like a slip out the back type effect, they actually could have made this a 4/4, which blocks this pretty effectively regardless of what I do. I have to then resolve like a Shacklegeist to get around that. Like this though, I don't really care about Rattle Chains on its own, and if they go ahead and Curious Obsession here, I've got 2 flyers to play with. So I'm actually kind of cool with that. If they cast a Curious Obsession, it is good to note though that I want to Rattle Chains in response to the Obsession, not after it resolves for a surprise block. Reason for that is Geist Light Snare will then cost 1, so if their hand happens to be exactly Geist Light Snare, Curious Obsession, then I can walk myself into being counterspelled. But if I do it in response to the CO, the Geist Light Snare still costs 2, so they don't get to double counterspell me in the event that's what they have. But here it looks like my opponent's gonna have a relatively tough time of it. That is so funny that that's a mistake we made though. Like I'm actually kind of happy that happened. That'll make for a nice little clip later. All right, fine. Your Rattle Chains can have hexproof, I don't care. So let's see what ends up happening here. Are we going to try for a Curious Obsession on Rattle Chains? Ascendant Spirit number 2. I don't know if I like that either, since the Ascendant Spirits have flash with Rattle Chains. I don't think that was necessary. We're attacking? What? I'm gonna put in a Rattle Chains, and I'm gonna see if I can make them use mana on this Ascendant Spirit. So Rattle Chains is a 3-2 with the Supreme Phantom. This can become a 2-3, so they would trade if I get to block. And I'll give you Hexproof just in the event that you do have a Brazen Borrower. I also really want them to try to cast a Brazen Borrower. The best part is you queued in the wrong deck and got into a mirror match, right? Like, and there's a Shacklegeist. This is gonna go so well for just me. So now Shacklegeist can tap and tap to try to tap my Rattle Chains before blockers, but now I'm gonna get to go ahead and play the other Rattle Chains to protect this one. Now I've got a guaranteed good blocker for the Ascendant Spirit, and I'm gonna get to trade with this Rattle Chains, which I do want to do with them having a Shacklegeist and me not having one. Jesus, that went so well for just me. All right, so I'm going to Faceless Haven up here, since doing this does not take down my Rattle Chains mana, and I get to attack for 10 here. They go to 8, and I still have access to a Rattle Chains to protect my Phantom, again, in case of a petty theft. And the best part about getting queued into this deck when I was playing Spirits rather than when I'm playing Blue-White Control is that I definitely do not want to fight Spirits as Blue-White Control. Like, no shot do I actually want to fight that fight, really, ever. They only have 1 mana up, so I'm actually just going to flash this in and make this their problem. Like, deal with my clock. But yeah, that is absolutely hilarious the way that worked out. And I don't even mind having a Spectral Sailor as the draw step here. They can like double block my Supreme Phantom, but like what are you gonna do about all the rest of this damage? So I don't know, good luck. If they tap down one of these creatures here, then I still have relatively free attacks with the rest. So yeah, this makes me happy. So they tap down the Faceless Haven and are okay with me drawing a card, or you know, killing them because they didn't tap the Ascendant Spirit like they should have. Anyway, Mystical Dispute comes in, Witness Protection comes in. Cards I don't care about are Spell Pierce and Slip Out the Back. I also don't want 1 Lofty Denial. But yeah, that is absolutely hilarious the way that worked out. Man, not have been so mad if I had queued into that person as Blue-White Control, because like maybe not everybody stomps Blue-White Control on Spirits, but like I usually find it a fairly easy matchup, so I just like I would never want to be on the opposite side of that matchup. So hopefully if I queue into like Blue-White, right, I get to just fight almost anything that's not Spirits, because I mean Rakdos is also pretty good against Blue-White, but like you can at least fight that fight with the Dream Trawlers in the sideboard and stuff. This hand is not bad. So Witness Protection, the only card I care to target with that is usually going to be named Shacklegeist. Because like deciding who gets to use combat and who doesn't is, in my opinion, like the most important part of this matchup. And a Mystical Dispute is an excellent draw. Like, that is an absolutely godlike draw. So here, we're going to spend a turn or two potentially fighting over... Oh, I'm just going to use my Lofty here. I'm going to save the Witness Protection for a better turn, so I'll use my 2-mana counterspell while the getting's good. And if they use this as an opportunity to resolve Shacklegeist, I'll be really happy to Witness Protection it. Okay. So they're not going to do that. I am going to just play the island here. Since I don't plan on attacking with Faceless Haven next turn, I don't mind hiding it for another turn. If they don't do anything here, I will jam one of the Nebelgast Herald into a counterspell. Oh my god. Please activate that. I dare you. Aw. I will wait one more... Oh, oops, they meant to attack? I don't know if I believe that. I feel like that's cap. So now I get to see if they want to try this again. If they do, I will very happily Nebelgast plus hold up Dispute. Let's see if they activate. Oh, please, for the love of God, activate. Okay, so they're not going to, and that's actually fine by me here. So I get to do this. I'm gonna hold up the Dispute in case of a Geistlight Snare being their only counterspell. So let's see what they start opening up with here. But this is definitely like, this is gonna be a slog. I mean, almost no mirror matches ever. What? Resolved? Well, I'm not attacking here, so fuck that. But now I've got a Spectral Sailor, things to do, absolutely no attacks. Rattle Chains is completely fine, actually. You can have that. So now I've got Spectral Sailor, which can both block Rattle Chains and tap one of these if they try to attack. And then I've got some follow-ups here with the Supreme Phantoms and another Herald maybe. So I've actually got quite a bit of stuff to do here. I do really want to resolve this Spectral Sailor though. If they attack, I'll just do this. Now let's see if you want to fight over that, and it looks like the answer is no. So let's... What's this? It's a nothing. Okay. Oh, Dispute. That's really good for me. So now what the Dispute does is it allows me to actively double counterspell almost any of their like Supreme Phantoms, Surprise Shacklegeists, anything like that that might try to come in and ambush block these, since I have 2 of them now. Yeah, that is really good for me. But I'm gonna attack with just Nebelgast Herald here and see what they try to ambush me with. I really want them to try to ambush me with a Supreme Phantom since I have double counterspell. If... Oh, nothing. Just nothing. I don't know whether the nothing scares me or doesn't scare me. Their Spectral Sailor without Nebelgast Herald is a lot less important than mine, so I don't mind letting them do this. Since really I plan on doing the same next turn anyway. So now what? I do want to hit more land drops. Like, I am down on lands, which is potentially not good for later. But for now, let's see what I can get away with. They probably attack here. No attacks. Well, I'm gonna draw 2, so let's see if I get away with one. Do you have a petty theft for this or something? No, nothing. All right. And there's a Rattle Chains, which I don't really care about. But let's see if they want to trade off Spectral Sailors, maybe. I don't mind getting rid of mine for theirs. I do have another one. Shacklegeist comes in. So now we get to start trying to dispute. And I don't mind fighting this fight. So even with a double dispute, I still have a witness protection. And if they simply tap 3 mana, I will use another dispute on it. Like, Shacklegeist is very easily the most important card in this type. Lofty Denial. Sure. So doing this, targeting the Shacklegeist again. Do we have a Mystical Dispute now? They do. Okay. So here I'm just going to no attack and then witness protection the Shacklegeist afterwards. They can tap down my Nebelgast if they want. Not drawing a land there is kind of a pain. I really wanted another land. No attack. and I get the fuck out my face. So if they have a petty theft for witness protection, that is a little annoying for a turn. They can also... No, slip out the back doesn't do anything. Triple Faceless Haven, that has the ability to suck later. They can also just like resolve a Supreme Phantom here, but they used 2 counter spells last turn, so maybe I get to resolve a Supreme Phantom. We'll see. We'll just see what happens. Is using 2 disputes on Shacklegeist that good? Shacklegeist is easily the most important card in these mirrors. Like, there is absolutely no close second. Like, if they paid for the first one, yes. I would legitimately, I would have used 4 cards on this if I had 4 mana. I'm just gonna take 5. Yeah, like, because like, remember, like, because I have Nebelgast Herald, and me being able to control combat is very easily the biggest key to a potential victory, and Shacklegeist / Nebelgast Herald are really always just the most important things to be doing in these matchups. Is it because of the 2 toughness? No, the 2 toughness actually has 0 to do with it. The ability to tap creatures, I will pay. I want you to use more cards. Sick. So here I'm going to attack with just the Spectral Sailor. If they have a... really anything to block, I don't mind. Yeah, that's fine. They can double block this. Oh, they don't even bother. Okay. Tapping them is key. Yeah. The tapping is very, very key. Like, and they actually targeted my Supreme Phantom and not my Nebelgast Herald, which I think is a mistake. As you can see, like, the way that we win these matches is by really deciding who gets to participate in combat and who doesn't. So the fact that I currently get to be in control with this Nebelgast Herald of who gets to attack and who doesn't get to attack usually just means really good things for me here. I can block here and trade, or I can block here and not take 4. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 takes me down to 4 life. And is that worth not getting rid of a body? I think the answer is no, so I will get rid of the body. So here's the super good part about this turn sequence, right? They're empty-handed, which means I can actually put a stop in their upkeep here and resolve a Nebelgast Herald, which taps down 2 of their creatures. If I get to draw a counterspell off of this Spectral Sailor attack, they might legitimately never attack again. So I'm going to give myself the chance to do exactly that. Actually, I want Spectral Sailor to be the blocker, not Nebelgast Herald, since I don't ever intend to block with Nebelgast Herald anyway. So I'm going to attack for 3, take them down to 13, draw a card, hit the land, which is great, and this game might actually be over in my favor because of the Nebelgast Heralds. So now I get to 1, 2, 3, Nebelgast Herald number 2, and now each one sees 2 spirits. So I'm going to get to tap down the Ascendant Spirit, which can pump itself, and the Mausoleum Wanderer, which can grow. So now I will let them draw. If they activate a Faceless Haven, I get to play the Spectral Sailor and tap 2 more creatures. If they try to Witness Protection Nebelgast Herald, I get to Rattle Chains, Protect, and still tap more creatures. So they're going to go ahead and activate the Faceless Haven, and this is legitimately looking terrible for just them now. So let's put in a Spectral Sailor, see if it catches a counterspell. And even if it doesn't catch a counterspell, the most I can take... That's fine. So I block Faceless Haven with Spectral Sailor, take 3, and untap with Rattle Chains and Supreme Phantom now. And a Spectral Sailor, so we're just looking fantastic now. So I am a little short of lethal, which is a little upsetting, right? I can only do 9. Like, this is for... wait. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. I am a little short of lethal. So they go down to 10. And I do want to hold you as a blocker just in case shit goes awry. A land is actually pretty good for me here. Oh, crap. Oops, I meant to do that in upkeep again. Oh, well. Stop before combat works, too. Only 12. Yeah. Only 12 on board is, it is a little bit of an oof. Spectral Sailor is actually completely irrelevant. So let's Spectral Sailor here. Tap down 2 of their creatures, let their Spectral Sailor resolve. I don't care that this is going to grow to 2 because I'm tapping it anyway. And the other one, I guess, can go here. Now their Sailor resolves, but is unfortunately irrelevant. And now I get to play the Rattle Chains. And then tap down 2 more of their creatures. But if they want to Faceless Haven, I have a Supreme Phantom to tap that too. Oh, they're just going to draw a card instead? Well, that's not going to go very well for you, because I'm just going to do this in response. Oh no, it's not on the table yet. Right. So now they can try to Mystical Dispute it, I guess? No? Alright, sick. Tap here. Tap here. Well, GG? Yeah, for sure. You can have Hexproof. Yeah. Like, how absolutely absurd is this, right? And playing this now actually doesn't dodge a Mystical Dispute, so I'm gonna just let them do whatever from here. Let's just draw a card. And now that I'm not worried about Mystical Dispute, I can just, like, play this, tap this. Nice. I don't know, tap this again. And then now I've got way more than lethal, but, you know, let's spin the wheel on the basketball. We're not here to not do content things. Really just kind of like show them who's boss, right? All right. We have to flex it, right? Like, you know, if you're going to play spirits and then have a mirror, you can't not just maximum flex. But GG's to our opponent. And realistically, I don't activate Haven 2. Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. You, like, if you're already going to be doing just like maximum flexing things, you have to like maximum it. You can't just like go medium. So now we're actually going to play some blue-white control as promised. But no. But I legitimately think all of the nicest in things were play spirits again. Well, we're doing a wheel. So if we end up spinning spirits, then we will certainly play spirits. And let's be real, there's gonna be more days where I just like make dedicated spirits videos, because I'm just not gonna stop doing that anytime soon. The Artiste. My opponent's Fancy. Pinky's up for the Artiste. Okay, right, we're on blue-white. This hand's actually pretty good. I'm in for this. So I've got like perfect mana, right? Like March of Otherworldly Light lives here. Oh, I didn't even see the Karuka. That means like this is pretty good. So another Plains. Don't really want another Plains, but I really like to make this appear against them being on the play and having access to Kiki Jiki. The March can also get rid of Kiki's token should one resolve later. So another make this appear is also really good here. And on turns where they have relative blanks, which won't come until later on, but still getting to cycle a Shark Typhoon seems pretty nice for later. I don't want to cycle a Shark without actually making a token here. I don't think we need to do that. So I'll just play you as a blue land. And honestly, this is fine. I love your content. What up, Mr. Meander or Meander? Which way do I say this? What are the control win cons? Big Tef and Shark Typhoon? Yeah, like we've got Teferi, there's Shark Typhoons, there's Wandering Emperors, pretty good. There's Hall of Storm Giants in this list. There's actually quite a few win cons, speaking of which. We're going to play the Deserted Beach and just get an attack in, holding up double Counterspell. So far, so good. Triple Zeotaurus Proving Ground. Oh, they don't have blue. Yeah, they only have 4 colors. Quad Triome start. Yeah, this deck does play a lot of Triomes, which is actually part of why mono blue is so good against this deck. Like, this matchup for mono blue is absolutely free, because like all their spells cost 1,000,000 anyway, so it's already pretty easy for us to get under them and counterspell them. But the fact that their mana comes in tapped so much of the time means that we care even less than we do against other control decks. Meander, okay, yeah. So I said it right the first time. Noted. And yeah, like there's a lot of good ways to win this game too. Another cool thing to note about specifically fighting the Karuga deck here is that they don't play counterspells because they play Fires of Invention, which means Teferi is almost always a super free resolve. And since I have Make Disappear, I can counter almost all of their key spells with just Make Disappear. If I have to casualty the Shark Typhoon token away, I will do that to counter a Kiki Jiki, but in most circumstances, we don't even have to do all that. So I actually like this scenario here since we did draw the Teferi. Excuse me. Although this is one of those exact turns where I do wish that I had drawn Wandering Emperor instead, because I can actually just play it now instead of having to wait until next turn. But realistically, I'm just complaining for no reason because this draw is good. So here, discard a land for end of turn. Okay. I don't actually need to pay to life. That was honestly, I think, a mistake. I should have just played the basic planes. I don't think my life total matters in this matchup, but that doesn't mean it wasn't incorrect to play like that. Like, I'm just making game actions at this point. Flex shock, yeah, right. Like, just my mana just matters so little in this matchup that I don't even mind doing a shock land here. Still on that spirit game, huh? Yo, yeah, that was sick. Yeah, like spirits in this format is really good. Like, I think it's even better here than it is in Pioneer, because there's just like fewer decks in the format, which means two good things for spirits pilots. A, we have less of a need to like tune our sideboards for a lot of decks, right? Because we already know there's a smaller format, so we have fewer choices to make in our sideboard, and usually that's one of the problems spirits has. You generally have to like use your 15 spots in your somewhat underpowered deck to try to figure out how many spots do I devote to something like a mono white matchup, how many spots do I devote to mono green or Rakdos, etc. But the same goes for like Phoenix, which doesn't really exist in this format because there's no Temporal Trespass and there's no Treasure Cruise. So the Phoenix deck in this format is honestly kind of terrible. So you just don't even really have to plan for it as spirits. Like, you can play really narrow sideboard cards because there's so few matchups where they're actually ultra relevant. Like, and then your cards that are, I guess, more broad cover more of your matchups. So here I'm playing like the 2 Witness Protection because I don't want to lose to like Righteous Valkyrie and Bishop of Wings out of Angels. But in actual Pioneer, I don't really have the sideboards, and they're off it. Honestly, I think that makes some sense. Like, they were like never winning that game, and the games 2 and 3 don't really get easier either. So I actually don't even know that I blame the opponent for doing that. So let's go ahead and claim our little prize here and see what we're playing next. We are going to play Greasefang again? Okay. So let's see if this time we can win with Greasefang. We played Greasefang and lost the last time. Actually, to the Karuga deck. So I guess we got our little revenge as blue-white control, right? But big spell control without counters versus classic control does seem rough. Yeah, for sure. Like, just trying to resolve 4 and 5 drops versus the deck that, oh, this is pretty good. Like, really all I need out of this hand is a white source and pay 2 life. Sulfur Falls. Oh, I don't know whether this is creativity or if this is the bad Phoenix deck I just referenced. It's gonna be creativity. So I'm gonna take away the Fire Prophecy. So taking Fire Prophecy means that they can't just kill Greasefang without help, because Fiery Impulse only does 2 until they put another spell in the graveyard. No, not a white source. Why? Oh man, still on wheel. Oh, whoops. My bad. You're right. Also not a white source. Oh, come on, not like this. Oh, we only needed a white source. This game was so easy. Oh man, this just went from like can't lose to can't win, because on the draw we couldn't hit a single land. That is so upsetting. Now we have to do so much work to probably still lose. Fuck me. All right, well, getting rid of Parhelion is the end of turn, I guess. We are so dead. What's the win condition in this format? Is it just like a bunch of Titans of Industry? That's probably correct. Creativity for 2, so I do think it's going to be Titans. Oh, it's infinite. We're just dead. Okay. So I'll explain the combo in a second. But let's go ahead and sideboard first. So creativity. I want to duress. I want to Terra Sunder? Do I want to Terra Sunder? They have Kikis. Actually, I think that's it. I have 2 spots that I do want to sub cards in for, so I guess I'll do this and get rid of Kikis. It's not great. Oh, so upset that we didn't draw the white land, because that game was so easy if we did, and so difficult since we didn't. Oh man, that is upsetting. Man, Greasefang is not my friend today. It is not my friend today. I love your knowledge base, you magic genius. Thanks. You know, I've been playing tournament Magic at like a somewhat high level for like 13 or so years now. So like, you know, eventually the experience just kind of like kicks in and gets to the point where you can play or at least relay the information for just about any of the decks that exist in formats you play. So it's nice to get to share that with everybody, you know? I am so mad about that. Like, I'm gonna be mad about that for at least like 2 to 3 more minutes. Appropriately named opponent though, Downward Spiral, because that is definitely what happened to us. Grizzly Salvage can find decent things. This can reanimate. Boseiju is not the worst. You know what? I think this is actually a keep. Needs more grease. The deck's not running smoothly. Right? Like, Greasefang is just a definition of squeaky wheel here. We need more grease in the Greasefang. So let's see what they come at us with here. I don't know whether my opponent's going to end up wanting to play just like a counterspell type game, or if they're going to just play like a removal type game with cards like Rending Volley. Both options are available to them as a blue-red deck. Spire Bluff Canal, okay. I actually think Liliana's a pretty good draw. So I'm going to play you as the green source, because I can play you as a black source since I only need 1 white. Yeah, I like that. And I don't want to test this deck to see if they don't play basics or not. I think I'm just... Oh, I should have done this in upkeep to play around a 2-mana counterspell. I don't think they actually play 2-mana counterspells, but on the off chance they did, Chariot's in the graveyard. So now if I can draw a Greasefang for turn, this might be nice. A Parhelion's not great. So since they didn't 2-mana counterspell the other thing, I think I'm just going to give myself a chance to resolve Liliana. If this gets countered, then okay, I tried. Censor? I guess. And there's a Kiki-Jiki, okay. I can resolve a Chariot, or I can Terra Sunder. Actually, you know what? I think both of those are wrong. I think I need to give myself a chance to Thoughtseize. Yeah, I'm gonna give myself a chance to Thoughtseize. So Reason for that is if they attack with the Goblin Shaman and make a treasure token, damn it, then they can go ahead and immediately resolve a creativity, and I think I just kind of lose on the spot. For what it's worth, I think I have lost this game anyway. Greasefang may have to come off the wheel, y'all. And sometimes look a lot better with fewer lands. Yeah, like, on the play, I think I never keep that hand. On the draw, I like giving myself a chance to go ahead and make that land drop, right? Like, I'm gonna block this. So blocking actually does a couple of things here. It turns on my can't stay away, which is currently off. But also it gives me the ability to like just deny them a double attack, right? Like every time they attack, they get another treasure token, and treasure tokens basically mean instant doom. So I have a black land in hand. Okay, so I'm gonna give myself a chance to draw a Thoughtseize. I still think that's really like the thing that I need to be doing here. We don't draw one, okay? You, Black Source. Do I... You know what? I think I just hold up the Terra Sunder and hope they try to creativity the treasure token. If they do it like that, then I can at least get rid of the Oh, they didn't make a treasure. They just looted. Okay. That's still not good, but it is better than them making another treasure, since they still have to do a little bit of work to creativity for 2. So they do get a Kiki-Jiki transformed, which is annoying, but at least my Terra Sunder has the ability to somewhat fizzle a creativity if they only cast it X's 1 on the treasure token. Yeah, I'm gonna walk into a counterspell here if they have it. I'm just gonna try to get rid of this. Okay, nothing bad happens to that. That's actually kind of scary. No other creatures in here. All right, so let's just jam this. No, I'm gonna play around, make disappear. Let's see if they don't have if they have make disappear, then I'll be glad that we did that. But I won't lie and say this isn't still feeling / looking a little hopeless here. They can Prismari command where they destroy, get rid of this, but even that's still not completely getting rid of a card. Fading Hope. Ugh, your mother. All right, and the Scry is going to be really good for them too. Not saying I wouldn't keep it, but you always remember how bad it feels when it doesn't work. Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, there's definitely like some confirmation bias in that for sure. But I also am a fan of acknowledging, like, you know, when that's a thing, right? Because given the same hand and the same scenario, I know full well that like I made that decision just really based on the math involved. If I had that exact same hand and Prophecy of Braid Brotherhood's End, huh? Can I even beat Crackling Drake? The answer might actually be no. So I think I get rid of the Abrade. That has the ability to do the most stuff. And if I just attack with the cat, they can still Fire Prophecy, flip Brotherhood's End for like another real card. But I can't do anything about that currently, so it's kind of whatever. And I legitimately just think I lose to this Crackling Drake unless I draw Liliana, like, now. So, Liliana me? Or Greasefang? And they took... Oh no, they still have 2 mana for this stupid Fire Prophecy. Damn it. So I can revive it next turn. And I can use it to crew the Asika's Chariot now. So there's another chariot. Okay, cool. So here's what I'm gonna do. rather than activating a Parhelion and messing around with that. Oh, no, I can crew the Parhelion. Yeah, that's 4. That works. So if they allow me to go to the point where I am allowed to reanimate, then, okay, they don't even play around with that. That's correct. Then what I could have done is put Parhelion on the stack. In response to that, they Fire Prophecy this, but I Greasefang and crew here. When Parhelion's ability resolves and hits the table, I then use the Chariot to crew the Parhelion. So that's an option that I had access to, but they were correct to deny me that option. So here I'm going to just attack with this and make another cat token. And then next turn, to avoid another Brotherhood's End, I can use my Can't Stay Away on the Greasefang and then kind of try to reloop the combo. So let's see if that ends up working. But realistically, this Crackling Drake is still going to be a pretty big clock. Like, I got a lot of work to do. And this is, oh, that's actually borderline perfect. That's a really good draw for me. So let's see if it ends up working out here, because I have the Can't Stay Aways, right? Fiery Impulse or Spell Pierce. I am glad we're playing around Spell Pierce now. So here's the Greasefang. And now I get to use my Parhelion for lethal, so life is very exciting for exactly one of us. Here we go. And we're also going to crew this. I don't get to stack these the way I want them to. I don't get to make 3 angels, but I do get to, you know, almost kill them, which is nice. Oh, you know what? Since I don't get to kill them, oh, that was so bad. Oh, fuck. All right, so I gave them another turn, and oh, that's so bad. Because now I get to block the Seeker's Chariot and technically live at 1. So if I had simply attacked with the 2 cats, then they just died on the spot and don't get another turn. My angels do have vigilance, so I'm pretty confident that I will end up being all right anyway, but that doesn't mean this was right to do. I should have just attacked with the 2 cats and guaranteed lethal. Oh, sorry. Does Flashback Can't Stay Away have any extra effects, or does it just let you cast it again? Yes, the extra effect is when this creature would leave the battlefield, you instead exile it. Here we go. Yeah, there it is. So if it gains, if this creature, I'm sorry, dies, not would leave the battlefield. So there is a little bit of a drawback to the flashback part of it, but otherwise it's just like fine. Like a 2-mana reanimate is pretty good in these colors. Greasefang can be quite hit or miss. This is why I love the new builds with alternative mid-range plans. Right, exactly. And when I was playing Greasefang, like, as an actual deck I was playing, I actually stuck to Mardu rather than going with the Abzan version, because I liked the plan of having Kikijiki and Graveyard Trespasser just like as mid-range options. And in my sideboard, I actually had 2 copies of Valky, and that made for like a not so bad package here. Actually, I think I like this hand. That's so weird. Yeah, I legitimately think I like this hand. So, a Lily, oh, now I really like this hand. So I will have to play this hand a little bit slower because it a tapped land, but I legitimately think I'm okay with that. I think I'm gonna just Rafine's Informant here, rather than messing around with trying to combo exactly on turn 3, right? Because I've got Thought Seizes, so this combo just like is already pretty decent. And I don't care if they Fiery Impulse that. Like, I mean, I care a little bit, obviously, because that means I have less of a clock. But this is not bad on its own. So now let's get our first Thoughtseize off. And Obliterating Bolt is a little obnoxious, but the only card I think I actually care about here is the Fable. Is there a reason for me to want double green? I don't know that there's a reason for me to want double green, so I'm just going to Rafine's Informant here. Dump the Skyclave, I'm sorry, Sky Sovereign. Can you tell I play like, wait, no turn 1 Thoughtseize? No, I didn't want to turn 1 Thoughtseize because I had the tapped land here. If I turn 1 Thoughtseize, then I don't get to play the Rafine's Informant on turn 2, which I think is a better play, knowing that I already had Parhelion. And on turn 3, if I turn 1 Thoughtseize and don't play this Indatha Triome on turn 2, then in the event that I get to combo out, then I don't get to do the thing on turn 3. So if I do it like that, then realistically, when am I ever doing the thing? Hey, Rich, how you doing? Long time no see. I was thinking of Sevian's Reclamation, which does the effect twice when flashback. Ah, okay, got it. Fading Hope versus Brotherhood's End. I think I care a lot more about Fading Hope. Brotherhood's End being a sorcery, I care a lot less about. But I am just going to do this for either a land or a Greasefang. I'm okay with either. And a tapped land is actually okay here, because this is the only turn where I want a tapped land anyway. Yeah, like this is fine. So now I have Can't Stay Away for next turn, and I still don't have access to a Greasefang, but I do get to back up the Can't Stay Away with a Thoughtseize. So the fact that they're also not doing anything of like too much note here is actively good for me. I have 2 Triomes, which means reanimating this and pitching a Parhelion does open me up to a Greasefang draw. That wasn't it, but it opened me up to it. Dumping this, and I do want to make the land drop here. Is there a reason to Witherbloom Command? Not really. And there's also not really a reason to Thoughtseize, since I don't care if they Obliterating Bolt this, so yeah, go ahead, opponent. So assuming no action other than a land next turn, I can Thoughtseize, get rid of whatever spell they... Oh, come on. Is that all 4? 1, 2, 3. That's 3 of the Parhelions. I'm just gonna do this and walk into a Spell Pierce if they have it. They don't. Alright. However, the Eye Tyrant is actively pretty decent. Like, creature lands will really help here. And the fact that I have more lands than my opponent too, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's fine. Means that I at least get to have some form of clock, even if it is not actually great. So since Fading Hope is fine. They scry to the bottom. Scrying to the bottom actually means I don't want to Thoughtseize here. I'm going to give myself one more turn to Thoughtseize in case they draw something good off of the scry. A Terra Sunder? I don't hate it. I heard Thoughtseize, I know that one. I have no idea what any of these cards do, right? Like, oh, hey, Fire Prophecy, sick. So that counts as a good thing that I don't really want them to have access to. You still don't really do anything. So I'm just gonna attack with this. Censor for a removal spell. Let's see if you find one. You do? You do. Alright, well, you got me. Keep the land in hand for a potential Liliana draw. Okay. Yeah, no, so Explorer is basically like Baby Pioneer, and I'm having a lot of fun with this format. Like, it's one of the few formats like Spirits is actually exceptional in. Same with Pioneer. Like I like Spirit's place in both formats, but also the format's only a few years old now. I think it's what, the 4th year of existing. So that is annoying, but I do have the Terra Sunder for this. Chariot is a great draw, so let's do that. And I do have the mana for a spell here, so we were always fine there. This is -3, -1, so I don't get to deny the mana. Yeah, this doesn't do anything. Go. So another Fable. These are some good draws from the opponent. They are doing the thing. So they can't really attack here, which is nice. Come on, deck. You're killing me. And I will be very happy if they somehow choose to double block here. But there's no shot they actually do that. So play you as another white source, I suppose. Is there a Triome in here? There's not, but there is a Boseiju. Okay. So I'm going to get back my Boseiju and drain them. And mill them as well? Yes. Sensor Sekenzen, get back my Boseiju, and in their upkeep, I'm gonna Boseiju the Fable. Oh, what the f... No, in their upkeep, in their draw step. There we go. So we're doing it in the draw step on the off chance that they only play like 1 or 2 basics and happen to have drawn them. I want to give them the chance to draw their basic and take it out of their deck before they can find one. And them finding a Steam Vent and taking life, I'm okay with that. But... oh, that deck just doesn't really play that many basics, I guess. Do I bother blocking? 4, 6. I don't have lethal, so I am gonna block. Obliterating. Oh, Jesus, I'm bad. I walked right into that for no reason. That was stupid. That was face up. Oh, I am punting so hard today. All right. How hard was it to get all of the cards for the decks on Arena, or do you just play a lot? Yeah, like, I generally just play like a shit ton of spirits. But I've also had Arena since like the open beta. So it's just been one of those scenarios where like I was probably always gonna... Jesus Christ. All right, so they can activate Den of the Bugbearer. They can't activate Hall of Storm Giants, so I don't mind trading with Den if they want to. Oh crap, they can, they have treasures. I'm just... okay, I'm throwing. All right, let's let's just pack it up here. I'm actively throwing. Holy shit, that was bad. All right, so let's I don't know, not play Greasefang again, since I'm just doing my best to throw away every single game possible with it. Greasefang broke down, yeah, right? Like just on the side of the road in a whole ditch, absolutely not doing anything. Rakdos Sacrifice? Rakdos Sacrifice, okay. Or it's actually Jund, but this deck is toxic as shit. Here it is, sack. So now let's see what we fight against as sacrifice. But also, is there Corvold? There is Corvold, which is why it's Jund. Speaking of the devil. Oh, speaking of the other devil. So this hand is like kind of medium. The Cauldron Familiar is obviously pretty good. Not so much without a sacrifice outlet, but I've got Village Rites, Witch's Ovens, all kinds of cool stuff that I could eventually draw with this. And if I draw a Witch's Oven, that's doubly good because it goes with the Familiar and this. Basic Mountain into Kamano. Okay, so we're playing against Mono Red. That's actually kind of good for this. not so good for holding Thoughtseize, but I am still going to Thoughtseize so that I can get rid of a removal spell that might target my Mayhem Devil. So Infuriate. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get rid of the Eidolon, but what? There's another Kamano, you got it. So here I'm gonna attack. And the reason I'm gonna attack is because I just do not want to block with my Cauldron Familiar, because this thing has text, right? When this thing flips, if a creature dealt damage by a source control would die, exile it instead. And realistically, if I block the Kamano, you know, it's just going to get exiled and I'd never have a chance to revive it. But with the context of my hand, I'm not really doing too much with this Mayhem Devil. So I'm actually going to make them use this Play with Fire on the Mayhem Devil rather than the Cauldron Familiar, since I assume that's going to be the scarier of the two cards for them to deal with. So I still want a piece of sacrifice things here so that, I mean, I'm taking this too. That's just going to happen. But now they have to choose. I mean, they can Infuriate this for 5 if they really want. They didn't. Okay. But now they have to choose between Play with Fire here. Or wait. Oh, they just. Oh, wow. That's really good for just me. Do I even mess around with the attacking with the Cauldron Familiar? No, I'm just going to cast this. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cast this. So I'm going to Casualty away the Cauldron Familiar, and I'm not going to get to double target this, so I'm just going to target their face. They can Play with Fire the little one, so that's going to be the first one I activate rather than making a devil and doing the big one. Because normally the correct play is to tick down here, make a devil, and then tick up here to do the gain 2 and they lose 2. But since this one is at 1, they can just respond to this by killing this. So I'm just going to do this first. And they can still kill the same one, but at least this way I got to activate it. And if they want to, like, oh, are they just going to kill this? Oh, that's fine. Use another spell on this, pretty please. Oh my god, that was really good for me. Does this give trample? No. So now they have to choose between life and a thing. Now I get to do this. And I have the devil that I wanted to make anyway. So the downside here is that they can flip this next turn. And when they flip, both of these will be able to attack my 2 copies of Obnixilis, but that's actually okay for 2 reasons. First of all, they're not attacking my face, which is nice. And second, oh, they just had another spell. Well, that sucks. Now both my Obnixis are dead. But even that's okay-ish, provided I draw another piece of action to sacrifice one of these. That's not a piece of action, but it's also not bad. So I can Kiki-Jiki, and in theory could block one of these. I don't know that that's what I want to do, since I, you know, am just not really holding mana to do much of anything else here. I could do a block to bait out the Infuriate. Actually, I think that's more correct. I'm gonna do this and bait out the Infuriate, because if I don't do that, then I take 7 and go to 8. Thinking about that again. Yeah. What art is that version? Oh, it's the showcase. So yeah, they have like infinite cool versions of basically everything on this platform, including like, ew, magic. Come on, help me out here. All right, so I'm gonna cycle one of these and cry about it, and I do not want another Thoughtseize. So like, bruh. Deck, you are killing me. Whoa, Stomping Ground. Okay, noted. Is Atarka's command in this format? You should have kept a creature alive to slam Corvold. So that is definitely one thing that I could have done, but I don't know. I wasn't guaranteed to draw the lands, and I'm not guaranteed to be able to stay alive against mono red. So I'm sorry. The question was, is a Tarka's command legal in this format? Like, is that a thing people can play? So I can do this. Like I said, just kind of like jam here and get rid of one of these Blightstep pathways. So that is how we can get back into this game. And then from here, I've actually got a... Oh, that's not bad. And then from here, I can start doing things like claim the firstborn, the etchings. Okay, I do take 5 from this, though. I've claimed a firstborn for one of the etchings. I can sacrifice it to the Korvold. If they attack, then I just block both, and I'm sad about Kiki-Jiki dying, but, you know, that's better than me dying. And if they follow up with a sacrifice, or sorry, a damage thing here, like say Obliterating Bolt or something, then honestly, so be it. Like, it's clearly not what I prefer, but it's better than just being dead. And they did in fact have a Tarkus command. Okay. It is legal in Explorer. Okay, okay. Yeah, I had absolutely no idea. So let's claim this. Definitely not Thoughtseize. Yeah. The scry's better than not scrying, I guess. Ooh. 2 is so precarious, but can't make use of that currently. Don't want that. So I guess I just do this and hope to not die from 2 against red. Yikes. So what's my out here? Like a non-haste creep? Are you kidding me? Wow, we stole one. Okay. I fully acknowledge that we absolutely stole that game. But yeah, as you see though, we got like lots of pretty good tools. Like Obnixilis can gain a lot of life, this can steal creatures, this gains life, this turns into food, and Korvold is just like absolutely insane. But here I do want Duresses, I want Fatal Pushes, and I kind of want Kolaghan's Command more than I want Fables. So the mode of Kolaghan's Command on just kill your creature, discard a card against a red deck is really good because they just need all their cards to typically be able to finish you off. And a Kolaghan's Command being a discard one is just really good so much of the time, even when their discard is just like a land card, because sometimes they just want 5 mana to activate their copies of Raminap Ruins. So yeah, K command, pretty good. So I can Fatal Push K command and do what from there? Try to draw better things here, knowing that my cards are typically going to be a lot better than theirs as a whole, and I already have a removal spell built in. Being on the draw makes the land count actually kind of attractive. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So no, you're correct. The fables that are in my deck are the showcase versions. Arena reprint, yeah, pretty much. Don't really want more of those, but that's okay. Let's actually, that's not the worst, because I can put this in tapped and then gross but happens. So I am gonna do this because I don't really want to be taking infinite. I am gonna take a total of 3 this turn and go to 16, but here I can play this, which is nice, play the Stomping Ground tapped, and next turn play an untapped either red or black source and then Kolaghan's Command, keeping these in hand to cycle. So that's actually not even that bad. And if they play something that I don't really care too much about this turn, I think that qualifies. Phoenix Chick? Okay. I think I still want to block. Yeah, I do want to block. Like, just give myself the chance to absorb as much damage as possible. So do I want a red source or a black source more? I'm gonna play this first because I don't have to make a choice with this, but I do have to make a choice with this. And I'm going to target, discard, target a player, target a creature, and I'm not gonna target the Swiftspear while they're not tapped out because, like, if they just have any spell, then this grows to a 2/3 and I just don't get to do my thing. But remember the whole point about making them potentially discard lands that are like Ramunap Ruins, and that's exactly what happened. So glad to see, you know, that worked out as designed. Another Blight step means I do want to make you red, and I'm actually going to do this now. They could be holding another land, which is obviously good if that ends up being the case. Oh, that's gonna flip. That's gonna flip. No, I'm actually gonna do this for the guaranteed creature kill. And let's see if they just want to cast whatever this is now. No. All right. So yeah, I'm never guaranteed to kill this with a damage spell, but I am always guaranteed to kill this unless one of these is exactly a Tarkus command. So let's play around everything but a Tarkus command. Discard 2 damage. Player, target. Is Ramunap the only desert in mono red? Yes. So they used to play Sun Scorched Desert, the desert that comes into play and does, damn it, you know, we tried. All right. But yeah, they used to play Sunscorched Desert before they splashed into green, because the green gave them stuff like what? It gave them stuff like the. Okay, this isn't bad actually if I have a way to sacrifice. Okay. I can still just die to like almost any spell, but if I draw an untapped painless land next turn, I can claim the Swiftspear and Corvold it away. So that is a plan. I'm going to 2, like that's happening. You take 1 since I don't have another sacrifice thing. I would target this, but I don't have another thing to sacrifice. I'm gonna block. So let's see what you got. Like, I'm gonna die to any spell. You know what? All things considered, that's not that bad if I... that counts. That counts. We take those. Gimme. Take 1 for your troubles. And get the fuck out my face. Let's draw 2. Devil instead of Corvold. I think so. Do I want to cycle you or do I want to play you? I think I'm going to cycle you. That's actively very good. Oh my god. If I live this turn... Oh, let's go. Okay, so... instead of playing Corvold, I'm now just gonna get to make a food. And being at 5 instead of 2 is so incredibly good for me. Okay. Sick. So now that that's a thing, next turn I can play Corvold and... Oh no, I don't want to play Corvold. What the hell am I talking about? Let's duress them now and see if... It's a mountain, okay. Play you, tapped. And I'm just gonna go to 5. No fuss, no muss. And then next turn, I have Corvold with Village Rites. And... Wow, okay. Do I play around Burn Spell into Burn Spell? I think the answer is actually yes. So... I'm just going to cast this. Creature mode. I don't care if they point a burn spell here. And in the event that they try to participate, I can Witch's Oven this away and go up to potentially 8. if I untap with a Nixilis, I think this game's actually over. Oh yeah, so to answer the question, so Devil instead of Corvold, yeah, because if they have like an Infuriate or something, I would actually rather they used the Infuriate on the card that matters less. Because like, if I Corvold there, then they Infuriate and they just trade with like my best card. But this is not a matchup where I actually care about the sick, let's go. But this is not a matchup where I care about the Mayhem Devil. So the Monastery Swiftspear by itself, if it just attacks into Mayhem Devil and they Infuriate and live, okay. But if I Corvold, then I have so much potential for upside if it lives that I wanted to, I guess, gamble and give myself the chance to make the card give me the comeback by itself, where Mayhem Devil just doesn't have the ability to do that. Corvold getting rid of the Swiftspear when I'm at a really low life total is a relevant point, but I decided to gamble for a higher upside. Was the choice made there. So let's see what it is we're gonna be spinning this time. Good stuff? Oh yeah, all right. Spirits it is, let's go. So now let's, I only caught the end of that because of the ads. Oh, Twitch runs, right. But I think I caught the gist of it, yeah. Like, really, the gist of it was just that, yeah, we ended up being able to, oh yeah, also relevant, if you guys end up being caught in the ads, just like, say that you're caught in an ad break, and I'll just pause my statement until you come back, because obviously I want to answer the question and have you be able to hear it. But yeah, pretty much I wanted to play the Mayhem Devil rather than Corvold because I wanted to give myself the chance to make Corvold good, whereas Mayhem Devil can almost never be like super relevant in this matchup. World Championship sleeves, another mirror. Okay, so I'm just gonna resolve my Shacklegeist here. All right. I'm a Corvold fan, so I kind of see a castable Corvold and immediately cast them. I can see that, though. That's not like an unreasonable line. So here I get to just CO here, make it a 3/3, and I have a Geistlight Snare in hand. And all of that's assuming I don't even draw a land. So, and I didn't draw a land, so it's good that I have this. Supreme Phantom, let's see if you want to trade your Mausoleum Wanderer for it. You don't? Is there a CO then? There's not. You're just trying to race this? Opponent. Oh, Jesus, I did it again. Sorry, Letterin. But we drew a land, and this doesn't scare me at all. Sick. A fourth land actually does, though. So I take 3, go to 11, and I'm gonna walk a Rattle Chains into a counterspell rather than Nebelgast Herald. So Rattle Chains, you are my bait spell. I don't know, give yourself hexproof, I guess. Nothing? What could my opponent possibly have here? Supreme Phantom means that a Rattle Chains is an acceptable block. Oh, well, I'm definitely gonna try to not allow that. So I'm gonna Rattle Chains here, see if they have a counterspell for it. They do have a Geistlight Snare. All right, it's fine, you got me. That's annoying. So the Petty Theft, yeah, like I said, with the land drop was what I was scared of there. So I take 4, go to 11 here. And their only card left is Brazen Bower, which means I can, damn it, still no fucking land. So they get to put this into play now and threaten lethal, which is gonna be really bad for just me, but at least I get to resolve the Nebelgast Herald and get to work on the tapping part of the game. Nebelgast Herald rather than any of these other cards here, because honestly, I just don't want to, you know, not use all of my mana as efficiently as possible. Me being down on mana is actively terrible for me. Oh man. And that also grew to a 3 power. So I can do one of two things. I can go to 1 and double block Supreme Phantom, taking away these things' power to be really good. I can block here, take 4, and let Nebelgast Herald do the thing, and I actually think that one is the play. So if I draw another land here, still not good, but it is better than nothing. So what I can do here is, I mean, I guess I'll tap this, is I can Spectral Sailor, and Spectral Sailor will tap 1, Nebelgast Herald will tap another, and then I can activate, and then I can block a third. So that's not the worst, but falling back on lands is probably still gonna lose me this game. What's with the battlefield view? I was Viking with the wheel. Oh yeah. We or vibing, I assume is what you meant, but Viking is more hilarious. Kind of crazy for the Spirit game to also be a mirror. Yeah, that's twice now. Like, both times when we have played Spirits, we have fought exactly the Spirit's mirror. So, but I think this is going to be one that doesn't look so great for us. So, you're just pumping that, sure. So, I'm gonna pump or tap you with this and this, knowing that I don't really want to trade with Mausoleum Wanderer, but I have to survive. And I would rather trade with the Wanderer and risk this being a Spectral Sailor rather than drop the Nebelgast Herald, which is actively better here. Okay, so we drew a land. Shacklegeist Supreme Phantom. Is there a way I can win this game? Without Rattle Chains, these are not instant speed, but Supreme Phantom is the bait spell. Okay, that resolved. So that means Shacklegeist is like definitely gonna resolve, right? Like, there's no counterspell that could have evaded the Supreme Phantom, but not Shacklegeist. So, okay, I was gonna say, so either it's just gonna happen or my opponent's a lot smarter than I am, which either one is totally a thing. So here I'm going to, oh, fuck, I didn't do it fast enough. I really wanted to tap down the Ascendant Spirit. I'm still going to, but okay. Yeah, you can put a bunch of mana into that. That's fine. So tap you, tapping down the Sailor and the Nebelgast Herald, giving myself the ability to profitably block both the Wanderer and the Supreme Phantom. So there's almost no attack here. But let's go on the earlier point, right? So remember when we talked last time about the importance of Shacklegeist in these matchups? This is going to be a thing that comes up again, right? Where, wait, are they dead? If both of these resolve, they might just be dead. So what am I doing? 4, 8, 11, 12, 13? Fuck it, we're gambling. Oh, my Lancer, y'all. Oops, not you. Nice, right? Like, there's so many circumstances like that that come up too, where I keep telling everybody, like, Shacklegeist is easily the most important card in these mirrors, and we just saw why. Hi, I'm a Japanese Magic player. Think mono blue combat playing. Sorry, I don't speak much English. That's okay. Are you talking about combat research? If you are, then I am not playing combat research, but I don't hate the lists that do choose to play it. So if that is the question that you're asking me, then that is my answer to it. Jam Lords win games, right? Oh, speaking of combat research, so actually this is gonna look great for me if this is not a Spectral Sailor or a Mystical Dispute. If it is a Mystical Dispute, okay, fine. I was gonna say, then yeah, sure, I got. But that's one of the reasons that people do actively hate the combat researches out of these decks, because of the fact that this doesn't help to evade a lot of combat, right? So if they want to attack here, then I'm going to get to trade here. And it's not a great trade, but it is still something that we have the ability to do. And I'm still trading here. Oh, no, I'm not. Duh. Supreme Phantom. Well, that's gross. Sorry, I have some speed English no liking. No, that's all right. No, like, not speaking much English is not much of a detriment. I always think of it like this. Anytime I come across somebody who speaks limited English, that is still more than I can speak any 2 languages, because I don't speak 2 languages. So even if your English is like poor, that's still better than the best effort I can make in another language. So I always find it really impressive when people speak more than 1 language, because I just like don't. No Spectral Sailor, no Rattle Chains. Rattle Chains. All right. All right. You got me. But let's be on the play this time. So yeah, that Spectral Sailor Mystical Dispute blowout was super real though. Japan Magic community is great. I actually agree with that from what I've seen. Like, I haven't followed a whole lot of Japanese like players or tournaments, but from what I have seen, it looks really lively over there. Like, people. Woo! So now I'm gonna give myself a chance to draw another island and maybe witness protection something later on. Aw, fine. On to play with a draw enchantment and protection is hard to beat. It is. It's it gets to be a mess. So I'm just gonna attack here, knowing that I have Rattle Chains if they Spectral Sailor in single block. Yeah. Or I could Supreme Phantom now. Supreme Phantom gets me... Nah, fuck that. Oh, I just get to draw. Well, shit, that works too. Give me an island. That's not an island. I don't want to cast anything here. They're just pumping that? That's fine by me. Yeah, I don't care about this at all. So, I'm gonna put into Rattle Chains here, knowing full well that later on, I could be walking into a Brazen Bower's Petty Theft. I know that and do not care. Lofty Denial's okay. I still have Spectral Sailor. Oh no, I have Supreme Phantom now. Never mind. What am I talking about? That's fine. I don't care about that. So let's draw another card. Please be an island. About time. Thank you. So now I can double spell. So now that I can double spell, I don't want to say that this game is locked by any means. It's not, and it's honestly not particularly close to being locked, but it is looking / feeling a lot better. So the combat research, I think I actually do want to use my Lofty Denial on. Because I am so far up on cards that I don't want to give them the ability to really draw more. And I actually am going to flash into Spectral Sailor to block this too. Like, I just want them to play so little magic that I just end up winning on sheer cards now that I've given myself the ability to double spell. And if I can draw a land here, that's even better because I want to use my Shacklegeist. Damn. I can make you a 1/1? Yes, because you lose all creature types. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to try to make you a 1/1. So losing all creature types for Ascendant Spirit... Oh no, because they can just reactivate. Wait, no, loses all abilities. Mystical Dispute. Do I care? Actually, I think I let that slide. So I'm going to use that as my opportunity to resolve Shacklegeist. Yeah. So I can let them draw once, and then this can be a 4/4. I don't really care about that. As long as I get another creature to be able to untap with Shacklegeist, I am immediately happy. Because I let one attack go through, and then provided that this gets to untap, they never get to attack again. This one, I don't care. So what do I want to resolve more? Do I want to... Actually, I want to attack first with Mausoleum to see what I draw. Oh, I mean, Japanese player, everybody is there is toxic. I mean, if it helps at all, it's not much better over here in America. Like, people are hilariously toxic here. That was not a land, which means I'm gonna Wanderer and give myself a chance to use my counter spells. Especially Wanderer, since if they want to start pumping the Ascendant Spirits and using mana for that, then I still get to use my counter spells a little more effectively since they're using mana that I want them to use. So if this just tries to become like a 4/4, I don't really care if that's a 4/4. I do, however, care a lot about their ability to draw cards. So what I want to do here is really just like chain creatures together so that I can continue using my Shacklegeist to good effect. And yeah, like this is fine. I don't give a fuck about this 4 at all. That's fine too. Oh, there's the land I wanted earlier. So what do I want to do here? Wait, can I just kill them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fucking, I have counterspell backup too. Let's go. All right, life is good for just us. All right, there's your dispute. I dispute your dispute. Insert Spider-Man meme here. And we have one dead opponent. Oh, hell yeah. Shacklegeist, ladies and gentlemen. Would your enchantment overrule the combat researcher's draw ability it gives? No. Or rather, I'm gonna read combat research to see if that's a thing. I don't remember if it does or doesn't. I'm just gonna read combat research so I have a real answer. That is so funny though, that like we talked about Shacklegeist and then it was absolutely the key card yet again, because that's exactly how that works. Curious Obsession gives the creature the ability. Combat Research gives the creature the ability. Okay, so yes. So that actually would have stopped them from being able to draw 2. I was honestly just more interested in making the Ascendant Spirit typeless so that it could never be bigger than a 1/1, but denying them the card draw was even more of a bonus. I find that more than with any deck with mono blue, I win with exact lethal so much of the time, right? And I kind of make fun of my locals for a lot of this point, but a large part of playing mono blue really is being able to count. Like, that's... It sounds hilarious to say, like, oh, ha ha ha, you lose games if you can't count, but blue-white control, okay. So, but it really does come up so often that you win games what feels like out of nowhere because you have lords and have planned your turns out over a few different turns so that you can effectively win with your Supreme Phantoms and your Mausoleum Wanderer triggers when your opponent doesn't see it. Like, a lot of times, if you are just better at math than your opponent, then you're going to be able to plan those turns out. And it comes up a lot. It really does come up a lot. I hope all the Japanese Magic players, I guess, glow up. Crazy Gren? I'm sorry, I don't know what that one means. What does the list drop for combat research, borrowers, and or Ascendant Spirits? So I am choosing to play Nebelgast Herald, which is not a staple in the list. A lot of people are playing different mixes of their spells between any number of like Spell Pierce or this hand's a little mid, but Censor can at least draw me into a land and be relevant later, so that's okay-ish. Gigantha means really anything could happen here. Like, they could be like a sacrifice list, and it looks like that might be the case. It could be anything from like sacrifice to it could have been a mountain. All right. Putting that on white so that I can potentially temporary lockdown. Blood Tithe Harvester. Is it just like Rakdos mid-range, but with Gigantha? Or it's just like a weird sacrifice list? Either way, I don't really think I care about the Harvester. Or at least not more than cycling and giving myself a chance to draw a land. And the Shark Typhoon is not a great draw here. I really just want mana. Oh, come on. Not like this deck. So this deck has 26 lands and I'm cycling a bunch of times. So we're doing this again. Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen you play against Phoenix. Curious about how you board there with Spirits. So Phoenix doesn't usually exist on Explorer, which is probably why you haven't seen me play it. Fable, okay. So here, assuming nothing else happens, I can... Oh, and there's that. That's... I mean, it's going to be a lockdown turn. So they can sacrifice the blood so that they at least have the ability to use it. But getting rid of both of these for the lockdown is not bad. And if they decide to, like, Shieldred next turn, then that is annoying. But I've got the stuff currently to deal with it over the course of a couple of turns. So it's a little obnoxious. Oh, they let me get rid of the blood token. That means their hand must be really good. But they're considering discarding to the Fable? Oh, it is sacrifice. Claim to Firstborn. Okay. 12 land forest, only mono green. Oh man, I don't know about all that for me. So I am gonna get rid of this token here. Go away. And I have Absorb mana up, so I'm not going to Doomscar. So that plays around them having exactly like green land into Corvold. I don't really want to face that down because we saw earlier just how good Corvold is, right? But the combo of like Absorb plus Make Disappear isn't bad. Fatal Push and Blight Step pathway down. So I think my opponent actually might have just like straight up forgotten about their ability to use the Blood Tithe Harvester. That's actually fine. I don't think I'm gonna bother absorbing that. I want to absorb a Fable more. Behold the Multiverse. Okay, so I'm going to Flip Cup the Doomscar and hold up Make Disappear rather than Flip Cupping Behold the Multiverse. Yeah, I think I like that better. So I can take a pretty big attack with Reflection and Blood Tithe Harvester this turn, exactly. But doing it like this makes it so that I can Doomscar away basically infinite value. And I think I'm still happy-ish with that if they cast a spell here that I get to Make Disappear. If they don't cast the spell, then I feel a little dumb for not doing this. They Casualty for the Obnixilis? Yikes. So the ability is going to resolve, and now, which one is which? Remove types legendary. I want to counter the fake one. You're the real one. You're the fake one. So countering the fake one is almost always like the way to go with these, because what happens with this, I'm at 11. I think I'll decline because I think I want to keep the temporary lock. No, I'll discard a temporary lockdown. No, I'm going to decline. So declining, what that does for me is it allows me to play around Witch's Oven or Oni Cult Anvil. I don't know if they have either or both. Field of Ruin as a 5th land is actually fine. I don't want specifically Field of Ruin, but I do want 5 lands Oh, fuck. Oh God, okay, that's... Oh, I didn't cast the Doomscar, I cast the temporary lockdown because I talked about it. Whoops. Well, that was bad. All right, well, now what? Unlicensed Hearse, Baneslayer, Dream Trawlers. Oh, that is so bad. Oh, I think... Yeah, that was absolutely terrible. I think they discarded the Kratos Nash. They grew. They had Kratos claimed the firstborn. Then they had several fables, so they didn't want to discard to the blood token. Oh yeah. Wrong 3-mana spell. Yeah, for real. Like that felt terrible. Fateful Absence, I don't really want, and I think that's gonna be a deck list. Do I really want Aether Gust? Not particularly. Like, it's not bad, but I don't know that it's great. Make Disappear on the play is probably a little better than Dovin's Veto. Yeah, and I think I do want to keep... No, I just put in a lot of win cons. I'm gonna put these in, because I just put in like the Dream Trawlers, I just put in Baneslayer Angel, so I've got a lot of high mana drops that gain life, which I think is going to be better here than Teferi is. Claim the firstborn. Oh yeah. No, it took a second, but I figured out what you meant. But yeah, no, definitely just like absolutely fumbled the shit out of the bag there, and you know, it happens sometimes. Whoops, I played myself. But you know, sometimes you just gotta make yourself feel a little stupid, if you will, you know. But I can't even be that mad at that because it was really funny. Own it. Let's sideboard a little faster against what should be a really common matchup. And I'm actually getting a little hungry. So what I'm gonna do is, after this match, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a lunch break, typically about... How you wearing a tank top in Q's? Dude, I'm inside! Like, it's not like I'm going outside. This hand is fine, actually. Yeah, Censor Aether Gust on the play is not bad against a deck that typically wants to resolve a bunch of red spells. Also, Pauper format announcement? Ooh, that's exciting. So, for everybody else, Pauper is a really interesting format. It's super fun. Thoughtseize... I don't actually care enough about any of these three to really know what they want to Thoughtseize here. I'm gonna not play this now for the sake of hidden information. I think I'm going to play this now with the intent to not Aether Gust anything on turn 2 anyway, because Kiki doesn't come down on turn 3 and I can cycle Censor. Yeah, let's do that. So this way, if they go ahead and Thoughtseize me again, it'll be effectively half of a wasted turn, and that's fine. Yeah, like I said, I already didn't plan on using the Aether Gust this turn anyway. Do you know you have your game set to League of Legends? What? I even switched it on Twitch and everything. Let me see about that. Are you messing with me before I actually go look? Because I went out of my way to switch it over and make sure it said Magic. Do they play more than one basic? You know what? Let's find out. I am going to choose to believe that this deck does not play more than one basic. Okay, they do. That's fine. Stream info. It says Magic the Gathering. Okay. Oh, I'm on YouTube, not Twitch. Oh. Yes, you can choose a category on YouTube, and you're right about that. Okay. So I did not oh, whoops. Why did I not get to... All right. So here I'm going to zero the... Wait. Go away so I can see which one is which. Token Planeswalker. Okay. Oh, is it still 3? Oh, well, that sucks. Can I beat Resolved Nixilis? Probably not. Oh, well. I legitimately thought I was going to be able to get rid of the token with X is 0, by the way. The Token Planeswalker is the one I... Oh, this doesn't do Planeswalkers. Man, this spell's not great. No wonder I'm only playing 2. I guess I'll Aether Gust the token then. Okay, yeah, this feels pretty bad now. Like, Nixilis is one of those cards that, like, I've been playing in red-black decks against control for, like, some time just because it's so hard to overcome the advantage that you get from making discard or life loss of choice every single turn. But now at release, we're still at 15. They're not doing anything, which is nice. So really, I just want to start drawing like big good things. And I'm playing that untapped so that I can give myself a chance to Psycho Shark on 3, let them uptick, and then kill this with the Shark token. So that's why I didn't want to play this turn. Return a creature, discard a card. Okay. Returning the cat, which I don't care about. And discarding the March. I care about that less than the Hall of Storm Giants. Okay, so yeah, I can go over to YouTube and switch that, because you are definitely right about that, because I didn't check on YouTube. That's really weird that it would default to League of Legends, because I don't play League of Legends? Why is that a thing? Yeah, that can resolve. That is absolutely wild to me. So, no attack from the Devil token? That's surprising. 1, 2, 3. So at least now we can do this and clear out the Nixilis here. Magic Gathering Arena, save. I'm not going to get over that for a while. I find it really wild. Yeah, the League player who never played League, right? Like, I do play Legends of Runeterra, which is like the League of Legends card game, but actual League? Why is that even an option for me? And I'm back. All right, welcome back. Do you care which platform? No. So, realistically, I'm just kind of like here to engage with everybody, have some time, and whichever platform you decide to engage on, I'm happy for it either way. So I do care a lot more about YouTube than Twitch. Like, I definitely have zero intentions of being a like full-time Twitch streamer or anything resembling that. But I don't really want either of those. Yikes. So let's hold you back as a blocker here. Being at 8 is also gonna get a little spooky. This gets me up to 11, which is nicer. Absolutely not to the draw 2. I mean, they do have spells that are potentially more dangerous, like Fable and a Mirror Breaker, but letting them resolve a draw 2 is a lot of what gets them there, so no thank you. And if I can draw like a Dream Trawler in the next couple of turns, oh god damn it, they just had to. If I can get a Dream Trawler in the next couple of turns, then I'll be pretty happy with my position here, even though I'm currently at 11. I will block the Harvester if given the opportunity to, and I am. So now let's see what they choose to resolve since they attacked. A Cauldron Familiar, that's fine. Sounds good. I can watch here without getting blocked by ads, right? Lockdown? Do I care about that more than the ability to scry? That's a treasure. That's not a blood. Yeah. Yeah, I think I want to give myself the chance to scry more than I care about this temporary lockdown right now. So they can resolve the Gigantha, I can scry into a Supreme Verdict or a Doomscar, and then I'll feel pretty decent about that. If they attack with this, that's fine too. So here I go to 8. They can go ahead and resolve their Gigantha, and then I can scry into a Sweeper. That's not a bad plan. Sure. So let's give ourselves a chance to do that. They didn't attack because you could have made it 1/1 and blocked with your land. I mean, yeah, but then I get to scry. I don't know. Hey, I mean, you are correct about that, but I don't know that doing that isn't worth me like using the mana right. Because if they had like anything else to resolve, that's an option. So I'm at 7, and I am scared of this Den of the Bugbear. So I really just want what? Another Field of Ruin would probably be best for this. I did get rid of a March of Otherworldly Light, which might end up being a mistake after that for this reason. So I think this might just be another one of those lost games, right? Like I'm going to go to 3 here, cry about that, untap, and then Castle Vantress can block the den itself, but then I'm still taking 2 from 2 implied Goblin tokens and going to 1. And that's just not a good look. So I guess it's really go to 3 and try to draw like another lifelinker or a Deserted Beach. We can also draw a Deserted Beach. I mean, now I have to Hall of Storm Giants, block the den, kill the den, and then untap, hope for the best with temporary lockdowning the 2 Goblin tokens and trying from there. But anything that does me life after that's going to kill me. So I think this match is now a lost cause, but let's at least get ourselves the block with the Hall of Storm Giants and see what happens there. Could you not do both? How much mana does scrying need? The scry needs 5 when you include itself. Yeah, it's kind of a large mana investment. I don't have the ability to both activate. So let's see. A Witch's Oven kills. That counts. They have a treasure token to sacrifice. Okay. GG's opponent. Yeah, so to go back to your earlier point, Bryant, I actually think I like the attack with the 1/1 there and making me use the Castle Vantress so that I don't have the ability to scry for better cards. Because I think that's really like the only way that I even had the ability to get back into that game was potentially scrying into like another Baneslayer, because they don't know that I don't have more than one, right? Or a Lyra or a Dream Trawler, which I did have in the deck. So I think making me use my mana for that purpose was probably better for the opponent than allowing me to scry, knowing that I was really on the back foot there. So that's why I think that attack could have been, I guess, a little more aggressive there. But I do get what you mean, because you don't want to necessarily waste your resources. But I think since they had more cards and I was just like flailing my arms really hard, right, it was probably a little better for them to press the advantage there. So yeah, so like I said, I'm a little hungry. So I will see y'all in roughly 25-30 minutes. I'll even put like a little timer up and everything. And then when I'm back, we can choose between playing some actual Pioneer, maybe a League with Spirits, or spinning more of the wheel, or even doing a draft. So let me know in the comment section too, just what y'all want to see for, I suppose, the second half of our stream. And we'll have fun doing that when I'm back. So I will see y'all in a little bit. All right, and back. What's good, everybody? Hope y'all had a nice little lunch break. If you got something to eat, let me know what you had for a snack. If you got something to drink, that's important. Please hydrate, don't dehydrate. And from here, I think we're gonna choose whether we want to keep playing Explore for the day, whether we want to move over to full-scale Pioneer, or whether I want to use this lovely little draft token I have here so that we can just see some of the cards out of the Brothers War, since I actually have not drafted this yet. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do that. So let's... Brothers War draft. Here is deck. Roulette. Then... draft. And that's not the one I want. I actually want to do one where you draft, but instead of best of 3 matches, you play like best of 1. I don't know. I find that those always like fire quite a bit faster. So find, where's the draft on here? Can you tell I don't play that much Arena? Oh, here we go. Limited Premier Draft Brothers War. And yes, this is the one I want. So let's use our free draft token. And honestly, I'm probably going to learn about as much about these archetypes as y'all are. Because, like I said, this is going to be my first full Brothers War draft. I think I did a sealed event once. Maybe? I don't remember. But definitely not a full-scale draft. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens with this, because it's always new formats are always really fun. Belcher, well, won't be drafting that. Stonebrain either. Yeah, you're the cranial extraction, right? Yeah, no thank you. Draw your second card, put a +1 counter on this thing when... Wait a minute. When it dies, you get to reanimate something with mana value less than or equal to this thing? That seems really freaking strong. Let's do that. And it's a flyer? What? How is this? Draw 2, lose 2. Opponent's creatures only gets -1s? Or Obstinate Baloth? There's no way this is not the pick. Obstinate Baloth is really good, but this card like has wild blowout potential. Aetherflux Reservoir, a sweet card, not my kind of card, but it is a sweet one. Artifact means a creature gets flying. Create a Power Stone tap, that's not bad. 5 cards. Oh, you know what? I know why I've seen some of these cards. I've played, one of the decathlons was a sealed event. That's why I know some of these. Draw 2, drop 1, make a Power Stone. That seems super strong. This seems like a real card. Non-creature, get a +1 counter on this, pay 2 to activate. And you make a Power Stone when you come in. Okay, so honestly, keep it real. Don't really want any of these. Like, this probably has the most potential, so I'm gonna play this. But I don't actually know that I really want too many. Whoa, I didn't even know that was in this set, and okay. You sacrifice an artifact, you get flying, and mill 3, get a creature milled this way. If no, then get a counter. Oh, I've played you. You're a pauper card. I think I want the... Yeah, because you actually play really nice with the reanimate, homie. Okay, so far we've got like a pretty good, like, I guess, value black deck. You reveal hand, artifact or creature, then you choose an artifact or creature from graveyard and exile the chosen cards. So it's like divest, but like really good. Sack a creature, get triple colorless. Sack a creature, get a 3/3. It seems okay. Oh, that's actively good. This card's actively really good. So is Bitter Reunion, but I don't know that that's a card that I want to be playing in this specific deck. I might legitimately dump the white card for this really good red flashback thing. Or I could just like not flash it back, but we'll see what happens over the next few picks. I could just like be a really bad Mardu deck later on down the road too, but I'd probably rather not do that. We'll find out. Mishra. Remember that time we pivoted to red? Deadly Reposit and Lauren's Escape are both pretty good. Recommission is actually insane. But this card is just nuts. Splashing is relatively easy in this format. I believe you. Supply Drop is really good, actually. I have played this card, and I've liked it. +1 for... Oh, that's not good. I thought I disabled that. All right. I'm gonna play the Supply Drop. I really like... I'm a big fan of this card. Like, a combat trick that can later on draw you a card is just really, really strong. I do want a few more things on the bigger end, so like a prototype card or two would be really nice, and then things to... What do you do? Exile graveyards, can't cast non-creatures. Oh, that's actually pretty decent. Not here, but it's pretty decent. You make Menace, right? Yes, you make Menace. Another Supply Drop, Springleaf Drum, Altar I don't want. I'm gonna take the second Supply Drop before the first one of this. Yeah. Still don't really want most of this pack, but... Oh, that's terrible. You're worse. And I don't actually want to play you, but you're technically the playable card. I assume this is going to get relegated to sideboard duty at some point soon. Recommission is pretty good, so if I end up being a 3-color deck, then I'll be very happy to recommission really most of these things. Don't care about this, don't want this, and you're worth my time. So things I want here, like I said, I want big drops and I want 2 drops, and I have not actually seen more than one removal spot either. Like, I've got Gruesome Realization, but that's not... A, that's not true removal, and B, that's the only thing that I've seen so far. I've got a couple of combat tricks here, and I did pass up on the Deadly Reposit. So, if I'm being completely fair, I would still stick by my decision of taking Mishra over the Reposit, but that doesn't mean that it's not a decision that we made earlier and should acknowledge it. So, I don't really want the Tron things, and I don't want a second one of these. So I suppose I'll take the Tron thing and just slide it over here because I know I plan on trying to play it. You're okay at best. Oh! They changed up the way these look. That's new. So there's I guess a quantity counter over here that does fill up when you have like 2 or 3 of these cards or more, but before there wasn't like the gray space for just 1 copy. Oh, that's so weird. That is a whole new template on how they did that. Don't want any of those 3. And keep it real, I don't even want the first one of these, but I did specifically say that I wanted more Power Stone stuff, but when I said Power Stone stuff, I really meant like the 2-drop white card that makes Power Stones and things of like, you know, that efficient nature, not like 4-drop 2/3. What do? Upkeep, exile top card, you can play it. If you did not, you create a Power Stone or Obliterating Bolt? Jesus Christ, guys. I'm gonna actually take the Obliterated Bolt. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but yeah, because in my 3-color deck, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to reliably cast this anyway, and I definitely want the removal. Okay, that's a thing that happened. Springleaf Drum makes the splashing pretty easy. Deadly Reposit is just nice. And I don't know that I'm really considering too much of anything else here. So, wait, what do? Oh, Jesus, that's bad. Okay. Deadly Reposit it is. Yeah, I'm chucking that to the side. Wait a minute. Oh, it doesn't even do the quantity. Look at that. When I move the stone retrieval unit over, I'll hide me for a second so that you can see it. Where's my big ass head? There we go. It doesn't actually show me that there's two here. So if I do this, you see one here and one here, but if I do this, there's no change. I don't know whether that's a bug or what, but that's really crazy actually, that it just like doesn't show you. Wait. Okay, so it does still show the 2x over here, but if I move them over here, there's no quantity. That's wild. Mystic Forge is sick. I wish I could play that. Got a lot of combo cards in here. I don't want this. Each opponent loses 2 life. 1 less to activate for each creature in your graveyard. That's pretty sick. No thank you. Nope. And yes, you're a 2-drop and a prototype. That fills both things I asked. You're also kind of removal. You are an unearthed thing, which is pretty sick. This card's actively really good. I think I'm supposed to take the Journeyer's Kite. I really want the Juggernaut, but the Journeyer's Kite just makes your entire deck so ridiculously stable. That's actually kind of difficult, because whichever one of these I get, I'm not getting the other back. I'm going to take the Journeyer's Kite, and I'm going to regret the Juggernaut. But it's common, so maybe I get more later. This is actually really good. Like, it's a 2-mana reanimate if you reanimate anything from here over to your left. What do you do? Soldiers get pluses for 3/4 for 4? Nah, that's kind of mid. Oh, I can unearth that. That's good. You deny unearth and are a 3-mana flyer. Sacrifice +1 counter. No, thank you. Do I want the big drop or the 3-drop flyer? I'm gonna take the big drop. Yes. Soul Guide I don't want. Your Field of Ruin, don't really care about that. I don't want any of these, so I guess I'll just chuck you over here. Don't want another supply drop. You're great, but not in a 3-color deck. You're not so great. Meh. I guess I'll take the 3rd supply drop and put it in the sideboard. I don't plan on playing it. Draw card and gain equal to cards in hand. A 2-mana 3/1 with reach. I don't plan on actually playing that, but a 2-drop is a 2-drop. Don't really want more of those. So let's take that and kind of chuck it into the sideboard. So I guess my checklist here is a couple more removal cards and more big drops is really what I want here. Like, I would very happily accept better 2-drops than what I have, but I'm not sad about this suite at all. I want none of these things. This card legitimately looks pretty good though. Like, I think that card might actually be to the point where it's almost like, oh, hey, I asked for you. Okay, I did not expect that to come back at all. That was basically a Christmas gift. Yeah, this was not supposed to happen. What are you? 3 or more creatures in your graveyard get a counter on this? Yeah, don't mind if I do. That's a 3-drop that turns into a big drop. Also, I've gotta change this. I'm not here for whatever's happening there. You're the flyer? Go away. Yeah, that was the flyer. Sick. Oh man. What do you do? Nope. Airlift Chaplain flies, and oh, that's actually pretty decent. So this either draws a card I want or gets a counter on it. You have haste, and I don't want that. Elsewhere Flasks makes mana, right? Yeah, it just makes mana. So I'm gonna take the Blitz Automaton. A 3 mana 3/2 with haste is like fine. What do you do? Each land you control. That's a lot to equip. Yeah, I don't want that. Return to rescue. If it has unearth, instead exile it and then return to its owner's hand. Activate only during your turn. Like, rescue's not bad, but activating only during your turn seems kind of... Oh, hey! There's the 2-drop I was talking about. 2-drop makes a Power Stone when it dies. Maze Mine Tome, auto-click. I will look at the rest of the cards, but nothing else is happening here. No shot does this come back, but this card is straight up busted. Like, this is a real card. Like, you actually used to see that in Tron lists and stuff. So, what do I want to play now? Let's see how annoying the pop music thing is. Psychosis Crawler, a real card. What do you do? Flash First Strike. There's a battlefield, gets a counter on another soldier. Phyrexian Rager is really good. I know it's not called that, but it's Phyrexian Rager. Yeah. Okay, that was easy. Harvester. Attack, exile card from graveyard, and it's a decent 2-drop. Swift Foot Boots is good. What do you do? Enters, you make a tap Power Stone. Sacrifice another creature or artifact. Everybody gets Menace and Haste. Sheesh. And I have enough big drop artifacts now to make this worth my time. What do you do? Scry X, where X is power. You are an unearth and gain life friend. I want you. Yeah. Wait, what do you do? Sacrifice this thing, draw a card, unearth for a blue. Not bad. What do you do? Search for up to 3 artifacts, put them in graveyard and shuffle up. Jalem Tome, don't want. You're the flyer that puts a token on a soldier. Mill 3, get an artifact. If no, then counter. Seems okay. I am kind of in the vibe for one big flyer. I don't know that I'm actually going to end up playing this, but it's probably better than like maybe the big Death Touch one. Maybe. I don't want any of these cards here. Do I want anything here? Not really. Graveyard you go. Or sideboard, whatever. Essentially graveyard in best of 1 matches. +2, +1 lifelink, draw a card, and you are rescue. I guess I'll take the bad cantrip and put it into the sideboard. I mean, lifelink is not a bad thing, obviously, but I don't think I'm ever going to want to play that card. What do you do? Nope. Why are you a sorcery? Graveyard to hand. Oh, raise that, get a soldier. Okay. I don't want any of these. Don't want the altar. Don't want the cantrip. Don't want a green card. Okay. So we have all of our playables, and my job here is to cut something like 4 cards from this pile of things, which I actually don't think is going to be unreasonable by any means. So I am currently a base white-black deck with a very light red splash. Knowing that, I'm going to take out the red card that is an early drop. I'm going to keep Urza, keep you... Probably. You're on the chopping block for a maybe. I want this for sure. You for sure. And the little half of you is decent. Which means I might want to do this. And then I'm going to cut 2 more cards after that. So the next couple of cuts could be the Gruesome Realization, which is hard to cast, and the -1 might not be terribly relevant, especially knowing that I already have 2 better sources of card advantage here. Actually, yeah. So my very first pick is going away. That's always hard to do. But I think that's going to be correct here. So what else do I want to get rid of? I have exactly one more spot to kind of ship here. Draw your second card, get a +1 counter. When it dies, you reanimate. Yeah, this card's insane. So I'm like never cutting that. Artifact enters, somebody gets flying, that's good. Mill 3 creature, if no, then counter. So 4 mana, 2/3 draw card, that's really good. Is it actually the combat trick? No way. This thing's really good. It might actually end up being the combat trick, y'all. I mean, this thing being a flying blocker and denying Unearth is like low-key really good, so I don't think I want to get rid of that. It could also be one of the 2 supply drops. Actually, I think that's better. So this is going to be the deck that we draft with. I don't mind going down to 3 basic mountains because I'm only splashing for these 2 cards anyway in the smaller half of this. But also, the Journeyer's Kite can get one of the mountains, so like I don't feel bad about that at all. I only need 1 mountain to unearth this. Yeah, this feels like a deck. So, actually, I gotta use the bathroom. So I kind of forgot to do that. So I will be right back, and when I am right back, then we can go ahead and start playing this deck. So I'll see y'all in a couple of minutes.
Just depends on how you feel, who's scratching your back. The George Santos party, propaganda. George Santos party. Fairy tales become true when you learn to deceive. That's just what they're gonna do. The Santos party. Where did all the money come from? Who created George Santos? Who's behind the Santos fraud? Who purchased a seat in Congress? Fantasies become real, detached from the facts. Just depends on how you feel, who's scratching your back. The George Santos party, propaganda machine. Liars, cheaters, and thieves, reality refugees. Power, money, fame, absolutely no shame. Jimmy works at your restaurant preparing food for you. He never washes his hands after going number 2. Jimmy's afraid of the bathroom soap. Washing hands is too experimental. The research has a long way to go. It's his body, his temple. Oh my God, I love that dude and his dirty little bathroom scam. Let's go get some food made with Jimmy Jesus hands. Jimmy's exempt from being clean. That's a freedom he enjoys. Jesus takes care of Jimmy's hygiene. It's his hands, his choice. Jimmy prays every night to be exempt from other things like the 10 Commandments, drunk driving and stopping at red lights. Oh my God, don't you love that dude and his dirty little bathroom scam? Let's go get some food made with Jimmy Jesus hands. Please don't call me